Hey everybody, welcome back to lesson number 2 in my Tai Chi Yang Style 24 form series. In lesson number 1, we went through the commencement and parting the wild horse's mane. In this lesson, we'll be going through crane cools its wings. I'll start off with a demonstration, followed by step so we can see the basic weight shifts and general movements of the body. And for those members who are interested in the full core technique analysis, where I describe the waist rotations and hip actions of each one of the movements, will continue on in the later part of the video. If you're new to the channel, I'm Dr. Todd Martin. I normally work on walking technique, but since Tai Chi is one of the most helpful exercises for improving balance and posture and overall mobility, I'm teaching this course to try to help you with your overall movement. Let's go ahead and jump right in. Crane cools its wings is going to pick up after we've completed the final parting the wild horse's mane on the left side. We're going to get into crane cools wings by first doing a half step up, placing on the ball of the right foot, and then shift back onto your right leg and start to turn your right palm up, beginning to create a ball carrying position with the two arms. And then we're going to shift back further onto the heel, full ball carrying position with empty stance. So the left leg is off the floor with the toes slightly angled downward. And then we're going to complete the movement by lifting up, splitting the arms. So the right arm is going to rise and go palm forward, and the left arm is going to go down by your side, palm down and back. And by the time you finish the movement of the hands, the toes should touch the ground with no weight on them, but touching the ground right at the end of the movement. So if you're using your core correctly, the arms and legs should begin and finish their movements at the same time. That's an important principle in Tai Chi. The arms and legs are guided by the waist and hips. If the waist and hips are not moving, the arms and legs should not be moving. Even if you can't see what the rotation is that's happening, everything is guided here in our center and powered by our hips. Let's do that again. Half step up, shift back into empty stance, and then rise into crane cools its wings. There'll be slight extension of the right knee, so you're going to rise out of the movement as you do it. As the arms split, there's a rise in the body. That's going to precede the next movement of brush knee, where we're going to sink back down, which we'll see in the next lesson. Let's see the side view. Parting the wild horse's mane, half step up, shift back into empty stance, and then split the arms with a slight rise of the body. Arms reach their final destination at the same time the toes touch down. And that is crane cools its wings. A fairly short movement, but it's very instructive because it uses two of the core techniques, the patterns of waist and hip action that we use every day when we are walking. For those members who are interested in the core movement analysis, we're going to go right into that now. You can see it as a member, glider level or higher, or you can jump over to the website and subscribe to the Tai Chi Code course and follow along there. All right, for all of you hardcore individuals who are interested in learning about the core techniques, let's look at the core techniques for crane cools its wings. There are only 3 core techniques required to do crane cools its wings, and we've seen them all in previous lessons. We have to do the core technique of set, where I turn the upper waist towards the flexing hip that's powering, and I turn the lower abs away from the flexing hip. So as I pull up from my right hip, that's hip flexion coming from the core hip flexors, as I do that, I'm turning the upper waist to the right and turning my lower waist, the belly button, essentially to the left. That is the core technique of set. So we'll be using that in crane cools its wings. And then the other core technique we've already seen before is sink. In order to go from set to sink, I just have to turn the upper waist also away from the flexing hip, now in the same direction as the lower abs. Upper waist, lower waist, turning away from the flexing hip is sink. And we use set and sink all the time to transition our weight. Set, sink. Set allows us to shift the weight or settle the weight, but it doesn't get the leg off the ground. I need to completely turn the upper waist to the left in order to peel the right leg off the ground. Set and sink. The final core technique we'll be using is reach. Reach is similar to set. So we just did set here, but in reach, instead of a flexing hip, we have a hip that is extending, meaning I'm using my glutes in the back, not my hip flexors in the front, pushing down off the ground as my core does the same thing. So when I do reach, what you'll notice is the left arm is going to project because it's projecting off of the extending hip, which is creating an energy pushing it away. That's with the hip extension. Whereas when I flex the hip, it is more receptive, allowing the waist and the arm to turn into the flexing hip. So flexing hip, extending hip. Set, reach. That's the difference. Those are the 3 core techniques we'll be using in crane cools its wings. When we finished parting the wild horse's mane, we were doing set with flexion of the right hip. And then now, to get the right leg off the ground in the half step, we just turn the upper waist to the left, and that turns set into sink, creating the half step. Now I shift back with reach. I'm going to extend the left hip as I keep turning the upper waist to the left, and I turn the lower waist back to the right. So think of your belly button going back to the right. That gets me to this position. And then now to get to empty stance, I flex the left hip and complete turning the upper waist back to the right. So now I'm in sink. That gets me into the ball carrying position in empty stance with the left leg off the ground. Now to complete crane cools its wings, all I have to do is turn the upper waist back to the left, going from sink to set. It'll end when my arms finish the splitting action and the toes hit the ground. For the Tai Chi Code terminology, split is the same as set, and elbow strike is the same as sink, and pluck is the same as reach. So you can use either one of the terminologies. The terminologies for the walking code are, of course, more designed for regular non-Tai Chi movement. The names of the Tai Chi energies, which is my own personal correlation, obviously more relate to how they're used in Tai Chi. But they're all essentially the same patterns that I'm discussing. So we have split, sink, reach, sink, split. From the side view, split, sink, reach, sink, split. All of the movement of the arms and the legs comes from the waist rotation and the power from the hips, if we are doing it correctly. Of course, most people don't think about that level of detail when they're practicing Tai Chi or when they're walking, but I believe it's very helpful to get that full mind-body connection, not just working through rote repetition and the reflexive portions of our brain. When we're walking, before we finish up, I'll just mention again where we use these in our daily life. Every time we take a forward step, if we're stepping correctly, we're using set after placing the heel up until the time we finish lowering the forefoot to the ground. So that is set. And then we do a core technique, which we call lift, which I mentioned in the previous video, not seen here. Then we do another rotation to bring the heel down, and then now this is set again before we lift forward. When we use sink, I mentioned in the previous video, we use sink before we're going to go down stairs or downhill because it allows us to sink the body. There's more knee flexion in sink than in set, which is why when we transitioned from sink to set and crane cools its wings, it causes us to rise out of the flexed knee. That's because sink has a deeper knee bend. So when we're going downhill, we use the sink followed by set. And when we do that, it helps cycle the swing leg through with the opposite arm. So that is set. This is actually reach now with the swing leg hip extending. I'm extending my right hip, turning the upper waist to the right, lower abs to the left. That is reach. So same core technique from crane cools its wings. Now sink, set, reach. Sink, set, reach. Powerful exercise to practice your weight shifting and your balance.